In November 1993, Nirvana gave a performance that would become one of the most iconic moments in rock history, MTV Unplugged in New York. Stripped of distortion and chaos, the evening felt like a requiem. Fans, critics, and even the band themselves would later reflect on how the show carried the unmistakable weight of a funeral. But was this Kurt Cobain's intention? From the very beginning, Cobain had a vision for this performance. He didn't want it to feel like a standard Unplugged show. "I want it to look like a funeral," he reportedly told the show's producers. And that's exactly what it became, a somber, haunting farewell. The stage was adorned with lilies, chrysanthemums, and candles, flowers commonly associated with memorial services. The dim lighting cast long shadows, amplifying the mournful tone of the evening. It felt less like a concert and more like a vigil. Krist Novoselic had this to say about that night. "It was eerie, man. It wasn't loud or chaotic like our usual gigs. It was heavy, like something big was ending." Cobain's song selection further deepened the emotional weight. Rather than playing their biggest hits, Nirvana chose a mix of lesser-known originals and deeply personal covers. One of the most striking moments came during the cover of "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?" Cobain's voice cracked with a rawness that sent chills through the audience. His final scream, anguished and primal, left the room in stunned silence. It was as if he was baring his soul, offering a glimpse into his pain. Looking back, many fans have wondered, did Kurt know this was one of his last big moments? Did he design this performance as a farewell? Or is this interpretation a projection of his tragic passing just 5 months later? Cobain himself might have dismissed such notions. He was often self-deprecating, reluctant to admit to grand gestures or statements. Yet, his instinct for authenticity and raw emotion left an indelible mark that felt eerily prescient. The Unplugged performance wasn't just another show. It was a profound moment of vulnerability from an artist who often hid behind noise and distortion. It invited fans into Cobain's world, beautiful, tortured, and fleeting. Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York performance stands as a haunting masterpiece that captured the essence of Kurt Cobain's artistry. The stripped-down setlist allowed Cobain's voice and lyrics to take center stage, offering a glimpse into the pain that often defined his work. With its somber tone and chilling lyrics pointing to his untimely passing just months later, one of the most notable songs from the set, "All Apologies." The song's cyclical structure and ambiguous lyrics make it feel like a resigned farewell, as if Cobain was acknowledging the inevitability of his struggles. The delicate instrumentation and Cobain's plaintive delivery further amplify the song's emotional weight. Their rendition of "The Man Who Sold the World" by David Bowie carries an eerie resonance as well. Cobain's haunting vocal delivery of lines like "I never lost control" and "You're face to face with the man who sold the world" feels like a self-reflection on his internal battles. Many have interpreted the song as Cobain grappling with his fame, alienation, and identity, as if he were speaking to an alternate version of himself, one he had lost touch with amid the pressures of stardom. "Plateau," originally by the Meat Puppets, reflects Cobain's knack for finding beauty in ambiguity. The lyrics, "Nothing on the top but a bucket and a mop," evoke a sense of existential emptiness, paired with a hypnotic melody. While the song might not overtly address mortality, its themes of searching for meaning and confronting life's monotony echo Cobain's own struggles with depression and disillusionment. A cover of a song by the Vaselines takes on a chilling significance in this context. Its lyrics, "Don't expect me to die for you," suggest a rejection of societal or spiritual expectations, reflecting Cobain's discomfort with being seen as a generational spokesman. Performed with melancholy and restraint, the song feels like a quiet declaration of defiance against the pressures that weighed on him. The emotional climax of the night came with "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?", a traditional folk song made famous by blues legend Lead Belly. Cobain's rendition is raw and visceral, building to a primal scream on the final line. The unresolved tension in the song's final moments, Cobain's voice cracking, his eyes closing as if in anguish, left the audience stunned. It felt like an unfiltered expression of pain, a moment so intimate it was almost uncomfortable to witness. Looking back, many fans and critics see these performances as prophetic, though Cobain likely didn't intend them to be. The pervasive themes of alienation, mortality, and longing for peace throughout the set feel inextricably tied to his tragic end, creating an emotional resonance that transcends the music itself. MTV Unplugged in New York wasn't just a concert, it was a moment of raw vulnerability, a window into the soul of an artist who seemed to know he was nearing his breaking point. Was it a funeral? Perhaps not in the traditional sense, but in many ways it was a farewell, a moment frozen in time, forever intertwined with the legacy of a man who changed music and left too soon.